Wake up feeling blessed up, pistol on that dresser. Ain't afraid to show it, I'll expose it if I dress up. Riding in that tester, roasted nigga ketchup. Sipping on that Sevra till I messed up like...
Hello and welcome to Man the Fuck Up. I'm your boy, Eloge at The Real Man the Fuck Up on Instagram. First of all, let me say sorry to everyone for the lateness of the video. It was my birthday this past weekend and we had a very good time. So again, I thank the Lord for one more year and thank you all who called me, sent me messages, tagged me, etc. I really appreciate it. Right, now that that's out of the way, I know all of you have been waiting and anticipating for what we're going to talk about this week. And we're going to cover something called the pinky and the brain syndrome. Now, for those of you who grew up in my era and my time, you will all remember the famous Pinky and the Brain cartoon. The song kind of went, the pinky and the brain, brain. Okay, I'm not good at singing, so I'm not going to cover that. Alright, one was a genius and the other one was insane. But there was one question that used to happen every single day on that show. And it intrigued me and I figured maybe I should cover it as a good title for what we're going to talk about this week. So, Pinky always used to ask Brain, "Hey Brain, what are we going to do tomorrow?" And Brain would answer, "Same thing we try and do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world." And that is intriguing and I want to share with you why. We wake up every single day, not just myself, you out there, everybody around me. We all want to know what our purpose is. We all want to know, why do we wake up every day? Because if you look at your life, nothing really changes, but somehow a lot changes. Let me explain how that works. When you think about it, you woke up, you were a child, today you are 30 plus years old. You haven't really done anything different except you went to school, you woke up every morning, you ate, you slept, the next day came, and you've been doing the same thing over and over. What has just changed is the direction of your life. You went from primary school, high school, varsity for those who did, and then after that, you went to work. That is the routine or the cycle of life, let me put it that way. However, each and every one of us still has a purpose. A lot of us don't know what that purpose is. Let me break it down a little bit further. Each and every one of us has a God-given talent. So, when I say a God-given talent, okay, when each of us has something that is unique to ourselves, all right, which nobody else possesses. Now we take that God-given talent and turn it into a skill, all right? Now, after you've converted something into a skill, you then process it into a speciality that is unique to you, all right? That's why in the world we find people who we call specialists. What does that mean? A specialist is someone who is good in their own field and they are the only person who are attributed to that field. Yes, I know. I'm not talking about work-related, really. Yes, it is also work-related. You find a lot of specialists within the same field. However, what I'm trying to say, when I say a natural talent, I'm talking about something that you naturally do without having to have the effort of either studying for it, learning about it. It's just a normal adaptation that you can acquire yourself to. Right. Now that we've covered all those analytical stuff of understanding what a natural talent is. Now, the pinky and the brain syndrome for me is we've been doing the same thing every single day and expecting a different result. As Einstein says, what is the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing every single day and expecting a different outcome. Right? So the pinky and the brain is the same thing. I want to challenge you today on Man the Fuck Up. As in, what are you doing every single day to conquer the world? Are you using your God-given talent, which you've converted into a skill, which you have then specialized to then suit who you are as a person? So, we're going to tackle a few things that we can look at and how we understand how it falls within the pinky and the brain syndrome. How did I discover my talent? First thing is, I stopped the bullshit. I stopped making excuses and I stopped going backwards in my life. That is the first step to manning the fuck up. Because frustration, stress, and thinking you're inadequate will hinder you from understanding what your natural talent is. Not all of us are born to be great, but we are all born for greatness. What does that mean? It means it doesn't matter if you are unable to speak like me or challenge topics like me, it makes you a useless person. You, where you stand, you need to discover who you are as a person and understand what you are accepting based on what people are saying, based on what media is showing in front of you, based on what understanding a whole spectrum of who you are as a being on this earth. You need to understand your importance to you. Once you understand the importance you have to yourself, you then can change the syndrome of doing the same thing every day. Now understand, changing something every day doesn't happen overnight. It means you're going to still carry on doing the same thing. Only difference now is you're going to have a different outlook or position on how you actually face what you come across. In the workplace, in the gym, at home, with friends and colleagues, you will start to pick up a trend of what people speak about. Example, amongst men, this is my irritation. We can never talk about something without ending to talk about a woman or sex. We could start talking about a pillow and what materials, content makes up a pillow. Somehow we'll end up talking about sex. It's like as if our minds are set up to only end there. And if you realize today, 90% of all conversations, be it on TV, be it anywhere, leads up to some form of a sexual nature. So we need to man the fuck up and understand. We need to get out of that normality and become and change to some different syndrome. Our syndrome has been programmed. We are now become creatures of habit. Whatever is happening is what we go along with. We just carry on in that cycle. We need to break that cycle. I'm here to tell you to man the fuck up and break that glass ceiling and change the syndrome. Understand who you are, what motivates you, what is your natural God-given talent, so you can change the pinky and the brain syndrome. Each and every one of us, by a research, on average, a human being has an IQ of about 80, 90. That is an average human being, which means all of us have a capability to think outside the box. I say forget that the box is even there. Understand yourself. So, how do you do that now? Stop waiting for things to happen for you to get involved. I've said this a million times. To break a cycle, to change anything in the world, you must stop waiting for shit to happen. Get up off your ass, stop making excuses, and start changing shit around you. You don't have to conquer the world. You don't have to have millions in your account. You don't have to have a following of millions of people. You start change with what you have, which means the people that you speak to every day. Understand their thoughts. Listen to them. Do you know why God gave you one mouth and two ears? Is that you use less of this and more of that. How did I come across this channel? Why did I start talking about manning the fuck up? It's because a lot of us have gotten into a syndrome where we sit and use more of this and less of these. I did the opposite, and that was the birth of my channel. You need to stop waiting for things to happen. You need to stop waiting for the world to give you things to talk about, to tackle, to change. We are on a path of destruction, each and every one of us, myself included. I had to stop and tell myself, enough complaining and more changing. I had to understand what I was doing wrong. So, that's the first thing you need to do in changing the syndrome. Stop waiting for shit to happen. You have the talent, you have the gifts, you have the resources. Stop making excuses. It's enough. I'm going to challenge this with people who go to gym. We are in January. What a perfect time. Guys, pinky and the brain syndrome. Do you know why you're still fat? Do you know why you're still skinny? Do you know why you're still unhealthy after January? Because you do the same shit every single year. I'm gonna go to the gym this year, guys. I'm tired of all the selfies. I am tired. Stop it. Something that simple can put you in a perpetual place of redoing the same thing over and over again. Challenge yourself. See what you're capable of doing and move away from it. That's all. It's nothing hard. I'm not asking you to go change what you eat for breakfast, because you're not going to do it. Okay, that takes time. However, you can change how you view the world. You can change how you view opinions. You can change how you tackle certain events in your life. It's that simple. Okay, the second thing you need to do is understand your purpose. Once you've accepted the no bullshit, you will understand what is your purpose. I'll give you an example. My purpose, I always believed, was to change the world in one way or the other. However, I didn't know how to do it. I thought it would be through maybe preaching, being a pastor. I thought I'll become maybe a doctor and save lives. And the third one, I think it was, if I remember correctly, growing up, I thought I was going to be, a policeman or fireman, some form of law enforcement. However, I grew up to understand that my gift does not lie in actual help of people directly. Let me explain what I mean by that. In speaking to you, you may find this as a bullshit, as I'm just talking on a camera, but I live a completely different life. No. If you remember correctly, I told you, when you do something, you gotta be ready for the consequences that come with it. How did I now understand my consequence for doing this? I complained a lot. I hated everything that I was doing, yet I did nothing to change it. I had ambitions of how to change things, the idea, because I can see the problem, but I participated in the problem instead of being part of the solution. When I accepted that I am fucked up, that I am a bullshitter, that I am not manning the fuck up to the same shit that I will go complain to people about, I found my purpose. And my purpose, or my calling to the like-minded people, was that I had a gift of understanding something and seeing the solution through it. Now, I'm not saying this channel is going to change and reach millions of people. The hope is that it's going to do that. But my goal in life is to change one person's life. Just one. And that one person who this will reach will find their own purpose as to how they're going to change. This is why I say you don't need a lot to change and break the cycle. You just need to believe in who you are as a person, and then that cycle will be broken. Because you only have to reach one person. This morning when I got one phone call to ask me, Eloge, when is the channel? When is the new episode coming out? I got excited. I don't need 50,000 people to call me. I don't need anybody to say that. I just need to touch one person. So that's what you need to do. If I can task you with anything today into getting out of the pinky and the brain syndrome, is to get out of the cycle of what you're doing every day. Get out of it. Stop making excuses. All you have to do is touch one person. And don't think about it too much, because the moment you put too much thought into what you're doing, you start creating limitations, negativity, opinions then starts falling in. Then you want the approval of other people in order for you to do something that you believe in. Again, as you understand today, I'm very emotional because it was my birthday, so I'm being lenient on you guys. I'm not shouting at you guys like I normally do and telling you to man the fuck up. I'm telling you today to stop the cycle. Get out of that syndrome. Otherwise, every day you will get more and more lazy. You will feel more and more afraid. And let me tell you something. The presence of fear is the absence of faith. As much as you know, we do know that yes, from fear births faith. But think about it logically and wisely. If you're scared of something, you're not going to be faithful enough to do it. You need to break that cycle. You need to break away from fear. We all know what fear stands for, right? False. I forgot. What is it again? That's it. Okay, yeah. I needed to remember that for a little bit. So, we all know what it stands for. So if something is false, okay, and it's evident, be aware of it. Break the cycle, guys. Break the cycle. Alright, so the third and final thing that I want to say. So we covered, you first need to stop waiting for things to change. That was the first thing we said. Then I said, discover your purpose. Alright, so the third and final thing of breaking the cycle and getting out of the pinky and the brain syndrome is first accepting your ability. So, what does that mean? When you accept who you are and what you are capable of doing to affect another person's life, whether in a positive way or in a negative way, then you understand what your ability is. Yes, I know some of you are asking, how is this different from finding my purpose? No. Finding your purpose, it means you're finding a course. Where are you heading to and how you're going to get there? Your ability gives you the skill and talent in which you can get to that place. Understand? So it's like, for example, I give you a sword, but I don't tell you what the sword is for. Now, you need to understand the ability to use the sword. The sword is your ability. It is the tool in which you're going to use to conquer the purpose that you have been put on. We clear? Great stuff. I know you guys understand me. So, when I say understand your ability, you've got to know what you're capable of doing and how you're going to do it. An ability is God-given, which is what I started from. Understand you have a God-given ability. No one can take it away from you. It is yours and only yours. Let me repeat that for you guys one more time. It is yours and only yours. You possess it, you control it. No one else can touch it. It belongs to you. So, once you understand what you are capable of doing, your ability, that sword that you have been given, or the slingshot that David had to kill the giant, all of those things, understand. Once you understood that ability, I guarantee you, nothing will stop you. Nothing and no one will stop you. Let me tell you something, nobody can stop me. Not a giant, not a government, not a woman, not a man, not anybody, because you know what? I know my ability. I'm untouchable. I'm unkillable because I've understood. I will not live in the norm. I will break the cycle. I will get out of the pinky and the brain syndrome. Understand that. So guys, let's recap, okay? Pinky and the brain syndrome. You understand? It's doing the same thing every day but expecting a different result. Same thing that Einstein said, repeated over the years, a cartoon was made over it, etc. Wherever you're going to pull your information from, understand and see it. Open your eyes. Understand we need to man the fuck up and we need to get out of the cycle. We are living too much of the same thing and expecting things to change, but we as a people are doing nothing about it. Remember your ability, remember your purpose, and remember to stop making excuses. And of course, as usual, man the fuck up. So, that's it for me today. I wanted to make it nice and short because I didn't want to keep you guys here so that you guys can struggle. One person last week told me, Eloge, you kept me there for 20 minutes. I said, good. Maybe you need that 20 minutes to change your life. But today's episode, I want to keep it nice and short. Only on those 3 points so that it can keep on resonating and seasoning and everything in your head so that you can open your eyes. Alright, join me next week because we're going to cover something very interesting. The most important topic probably of all, which is who the fuck are our leaders today? Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my page. You can follow me at @thereal_man_the_fuck_up on Instagram. Please comment, send me messages, whatever you want. If you want me to cover certain things, I will. Questions that you have and need response, I will respond. Okay, thank you guys, and don't forget to man the fuck up.